Migrant for Migrant is a multimedia project initiated by Multicultural Council of Northern Territory with a seed funding from Auda Foundation for an interactive multimedia website with audio and video information for culturally and linguistically diverse communities of the Northern Territory. Migrant for Migrant will provide free service for Kal communities to share their views and news about the life in Northern Territory with family, friends and diaspora interstate and overseas. MCNT has selected 10 different community organizations for this mini documentary production. And among them, today we have selected Indian Cultural Society of NT for this episode.
जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जल गीत रंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे गाये तब जय गाता जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Indian Culture Society of Northern Territory Incorporated. The society has been in offing since 1979. At that time, it was just a collection of a few families, Indian families that had arrived in Darwin. And the idea of getting together was to have people together like-minded so that they did not feel lonely in these alien surroundings.
Because I've been here right from the inception of the organization, there were few of us who were here in the beginning who thought that we always met together, but we thought we needed to give it a little bit an official title or structure. So we thought of making an Indian Cultural Association.
The society was incorporated in 2002, and since then we have then come under the Associations Act and have to follow the rules and regulations of the Act. Since 1988, which is when I have been a member of, the society has grown from 35 members at the time to over 135 members last year. The membership has swayed depending upon how many Indian arrivals have come to Darwin and also those who have left Darwin to go down south.
The reason for Cultural Association work, because at that time in Darwin the population was very little and a lot of us were either from India, some came from England, some came from Africa, some from Fiji. So there were very few Indians, but all of us were affiliated with the Indian culture, and that's what we were missing. So we thought we'll make, rather than making an Indian association, we'll make an Indian Cultural Association so all these people can join us and we can have our get-togethers and enjoy our cultural activities together.
The mission and the vision of this society is to foster Indian culture, music, dance, literature, and languages. Initially, the society was inward-looking and we celebrated events amongst members only. However, as the numbers of Indians began to increase, the general community became aware of the Indian culture, dance, festivals, and they began to attend the events as well.
People who came from different parts of the country and even different nations of the Indian extract we had different way of looking at things. And so I think any of our functions were culturally enriched and much better than just being a small group celebrating it.
Sometime about 4 or 5 years say after I arrived, we first celebrated Diwali function by inviting the non-members to this particular community organization. Since then, it has become exceedingly popular, and Diwali festival has become known to the Darwin community in general.
Now we've grown quite a bit larger. So we've been successful in making our children aware of it, because I'm very proud to say that my son, who's been born and brought up and educated here, can still speak our mother tongue and is very aware of the Indian culture, and so is my daughter. So if I can achieve that, I think that's what all of us were looking at, is keeping our ties and roots back to where we came from.
The objective of the organization is again to foster Indian cultural values amongst the youth, amongst the community in general, and for people to come together and celebrate the best that India has to offer. The committee of the organization is elected every year. The elections are held in August. The financial year is from July to June, and the election of the committee is by ballot. Generally, from the past history, one committee gets elected. We have rarely had elections as such. Once someone puts up their hand to form a committee, all the committee members then support the particular nominations. There are 9 committee members: president, vice president, treasurer, assistant treasurer, secretary, assistant secretary, and 3 committee members. Currently, there would be at least about 400 to 500 Indian families in Darwin. Now, not all of them are members of the Indian Culture Society. Last year, that is in the year 2011 and 12, there were 132 members on the roll. These included life members, family members, as well as individual members. However, when the events are organized, the events are open to general public, and we find that a whole lot of Indians come and support the events. This is one way of getting to know the new arrivals, making them feel at home, and in case they have any questions or any difficulties, they are immediately put in touch with either someone from their own community or someone who can speak their own language, and they are made to feel at home. In 1997, the Indian Cultural Society graduated and began to organize the first community function called India at Middle. This was open to the general public of Darwin and NT, or any visitors to Darwin as well, and is now on Darwin's social calendar for every year. This particular event is organized in the 3rd week of June, which is the first Saturday after the school holidays, and has grown from strength to strength. What we do at Diwali function and at India at Middle is to present Indian cultural events to the general public of Darwin. In addition, the Holi festival has now also caught on with the Darwin community, and the Holi festival is celebrated on the Harmony Day, which is organized by the NT government. The members of the Indian Culture Society have a stall and they play Holi with the general community of Darwin. Initially, it was received with a bit of surprise, but people have now become used to walking in, having themselves colored, have a bit of sweet, and get to know about what this function is about.
Indian Cultural Society interacts with the Indians and other South Asian communities throughout the year. They organize several events. They started with the end of the year party, and it was it was an occasion where people come in and sing Christmas jingles. Along with some drama, and then moved on to the Shadi night, and then there was a family fun day where where families came together and they were interacting in a very informal space. There's no agenda, nothing. The idea is just to have fun. There was also a youth day organized where people less than 25 years of age came about, and they were interacting and trying to get to know India a little bit better. Besides that, there were events in the latter half of the day where a cricket match was organized, India at Mindal was organized, and also a Seniors Day when it came to celebrating Independence Day for India.
On 15th of August 1947, India got its independence. That was after a long struggle, and they were my forefathers who fought for this freedom. So every August, around 15th of August, Indian Cultural Society celebrates India's independence. This year, it is the 65th anniversary. We are fortunate as well because August being the Seniors Month, we are also celebrating our Seniors Day by felicitating the elders of our community. So we have gathered here today, just a few of us, to spend some time together, reflect on the hardships that our freedom fighters went through, celebrating the freedom that we won, and also spending some time with our community elders and entertaining them with songs and poetry from our young ones.
After World War II and all the trauma of World War II, And with Gandhi, it must have been an incredible time in India to finally achieve independence after 150 years of rule from the United Kingdom. And what an exciting time it must have been for the people of India to finally achieve independence.
सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी ये गुलसिता हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा
सुजलां शुभलां मलयज शीतलां सस्यश्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरं सुजलां शुभलां मलयज शीतलां सस्यश्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरं सुप्रज्योत्स्ना सुप्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी सुप्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी पुल्लकुसुमिता द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदाम्बरना मातरं मातरं सुजलां शुभलां मलयज शीतलां सस्यश्यामलां मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरम्.
In the early days, the Indians that arrived in Darwin were from a professional category: doctors, lawyers, engineers. However, with the recent growth of Indian community in Darwin, they have now spread into professions like trades, electricians, carpenters perhaps, and a whole lot on nursing, as well as in the business community. The Indian student population in Darwin has also increased at Charles Darwin University, and a large number of them are studying nursing, engineering, and also in businesses and accounting. In fact, the number of Indians in Darwin has now become so huge that other associations have begun to crop up. So we have 2 Malayali associations, we have a Gujarati association, there is a Sikh association, there is a Bangladeshi association, which also includes a whole lot of Bengalis from India. So all these together make about 500 to 600 Indian families in Darwin. Most of these families come on work visa, they come with employment, and you will probably find Indians employed in various sectors of businesses, government, now private businesses as well, and in trades.
What I strongly believed was, when I came here, I should not let go of my ties, but at the same time I must try and assimilate as much as possible. I'll give you a very interesting example. It was for me and my friends' children, and we were sitting together and we were talking, and my son was trying to explain about the Anzacs to the other children who were younger than him. And my friend asked him, he was saying that our army fought here. My friend asked me, don't you mind him saying our army? Because I said, no, when I came here to this nation, I decided that I would want my children to be completely absorbed here without forgoing their roots. And I think that's very important when a migrant goes to the other country, that they need to assimilate and be a part of the community, and they can still retain their values. So that's very important for us.
My message to all people out there is come and join the Indian Culture Society. It doesn't really matter whether you are of Indian origin, as long as you appreciate and are interested in Indian culture, in Indian arts, literature. The association is open to all. It is a secular association, apolitical, and the mission of this community organization is to foster Indian languages, Indian art, dance, music, literature, in fact, Indian culture.
Thank you very much for watching our show. We would like to request for your suggestions and comments to enhance our program. Please keep on logging to www.migrantformigrant.org.au.